Hello, welcome. My name is Hannah, and this is the Mindfulness Moment. I want to just invite you to step away if you're near your desk or you're in the middle of working. Just take a second and stand up. And we're just going to take the feet a little bit wide apart. Reach your arms up into the air. Just give your body a nice, easy stretch here. And then I want you just to bend your knees, reach down for your feet, or maybe reach down, place your hands on a chair or the tabletop, and drop your head down to the degree that that feels good. And taking your time, coming back up to standing, step your feet just in a comfortable position underneath your hips. Reach your arms over your head again. This time I'm going to hold on to opposite hands and stretch. And take a little side bend to your left. Take a little lift up to the center and a little side bend to your right. Come all the way back up and lower your hands down. We're going to take the hands behind the back. You can hold on to opposite hands like this, or you can hold on to a towel or onto your waist. Holding onto your hands or holding onto your waist, take your shoulders and just circle them a little bit in one direction, and then reverse and go in the other direction. And then release your hands and step your feet wide again, and we're going to swing the arms from side to side. You can bend your knees. Your hands can tap the front and the back of your body as you do this. You can really start to twist. If you're in more of a confined space, this can be a smaller motion. If you've got a little bit of room to spread out, see what it feels like just to stretch out a little bit. Take up a little bit more space. And if it feels okay, you can even go a little bit faster. If you've been working for a long time or sitting still, sometimes it's nice just to get your energy to change pace. All right. And then I want you to find a seat. If you're sitting in your desk chair, maybe pull it slightly away from your desk, or that could even be sitting on a cushion or sitting right down on the floor. But if you're sitting on a chair, pull your hips to the edge of the chair. So you're not leaning back in the chair. Put your feet planted on the floor. See if you can find a nice tall spine. And if it feels comfortable, I want you just to close your eyes for a moment, or if you prefer, you can look at a fixed object that's in front of you. So maybe there's like a pencil, or maybe there's a picture or a spot on the wall. So you can close your eyes or fix your gaze in one place. And we're just going to take 3 breaths here. If you can, we're going to inhale through the nose or through the mouth. Let's take a deep breath in. And let it out. Take another deep breath in. And let it out. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. And let it out. If you're sitting and you need to adjust your posture a little bit, go ahead and adjust your posture. We're going to reach the right arm up into the air. Now I'm being a mirror, so I'm reaching my left arm up, but hopefully this looks like a mirror to you. And then we're going to take that hand behind the head. Your left hand is going to hold onto your knee or onto your leg. And we're going to inhale here, lean your head back a little bit, and then exhale and bring your elbow towards your hand or towards your knee. So kind of like you're bowing or dropping down. Lift up, inhale, exhale, head towards knee. And we're just going to do this, kind of sync up to our breath. So if you want to here, you can make the sound of your breath a little bit audible, like you're going each time you breathe. I don't want you to get dizzy, so moderate that a little bit. You don't want your breath to sound like Darth Vader, but you just want it to be a little bit audible here. You just want to be able to notice it. Let's do one more. And then come back up so you're sitting just straight up and down again. You can relax both hands in your lap. And then take your right hand across to your left leg and take your left hand to the floor or the seat behind you and turn. So you're looking to your left. And then keep your body right where it is. Turn just your head. Look over your left shoulder. And now turn just your head to look over your right shoulder. So you're kind of looking to the front or maybe towards your screen. Turn your head to look towards the back or behind you. And turn just your head to look towards the front. Let's do this as we breathe now. Inhale, look towards the back. Exhale, towards the front. Turn towards the back, inhale. Towards the back, exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Release your body out and just sit normally. If you're in a chair, you can sit back a little bit. You can let your body relax and then find your comfortable seat again. So sitting on the edge of the chair with your feet planted. Bring your left hand behind your head. Your right hand is holding onto your knee. Lift your chest a little bit. Lean your head into your hands. Inhale. Bring your elbow towards your knee. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. So do this in a way that feels really good to you. But we're just trying to sync up to our breath. So making your breath a little audible, like you're going when you inhale. Maybe even going as you exhale. One more. Sitting back up straight. Place your left hand on your right knee. Place your right hand next to or behind your hip and twist. So you're going to keep your hips planted on your chair or on the floor. Twist, looking towards the right-hand side of your room. And now keep your body very still. Turn just your head towards your right shoulder or towards the back of your body. And now turn just your head towards the screen or towards the front of your body. Inhale, turn your head back. Exhale, front. Just the head moving, everything else just really quiet and still. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale to the back. And exhale to the front. All right, and release out of that. Come back to the front. Let's stand up again. If you're sitting on the floor, stand up. If you need to, move your body a little bit, shake out. Okay, and if you can, I want you to find a wall or a door frame, someplace where you can take your hand and you're going to place your hand on the wall at about shoulder height. And we're just going to move the chest kind of in and away from the wall. My hand is flat against the wall. My arm is straight, and I'm just going to move the chest in and out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my chest away from the wall just until maybe you begin to feel some stretch or some sensation, maybe down your arm, in your shoulder. So my chest is facing the middle of the room. My hand is against the wall, trying to keep the shoulder relaxed, maybe swallowing here, taking a deep breath in, standing just nice and tall. And then releasing out and stepping away from the wall, letting both arms hang by your sides for a moment, and even just paying attention to what you feel. Does your left arm feel different from your right arm? Take your arms up into the air over your head, inhale. And notice here, does one arm feel a little bit longer? Bend your knees, lower your hands down, touch the floor or a table, maybe just let your body hang. Notice if you feel anything here. And there's no right or wrong answers. Maybe this just feels like a release. Come back up, take your time. When you're ready, we're gonna place the right hand on the wall. So I'm gonna move a little bit so I can still face the camera. So I'm placing my hand flat against the wall. It's about at my shoulder height. So my hand's not too low and it's not too high up. I want it to be just right next to my shoulder. My feet are planted, and I'm just going to take my chest and turn it towards the center of the room, and then turn my chest towards my hand. I'm just rotating in and out here. This isn't really a fast motion, but a mindful motion, kind of moving slowly. My fingers stay planted against the wall. My arm is staying straight. I'm not trying to throw my body into a stretch, but this is a really gentle motion. Maybe doing this 1 or 2 more times. And then I'm going to turn my chest towards the middle of the room, away from the wall, just until I start to feel maybe a little sensation, just in my arm, maybe in your fingers. If you think about something like writing or typing, or maybe like eating a bowl of soup, you kind of think about your hand. Can you feel your hand here? Do you feel a little sensation? Can you take a breath in and let it out? And then we'll release that hand away from the wall. Shake out the hands, come somewhere where you have a little bit of space, plant your 2 feet on the floor, reach your arms overhead. Again, notice, does your right arm feel a little different from your left arm? Bend your knees, slide your hands down your legs, hang or touch the floor. And then lift all the way back up again. So I want you to be standing here. For sitting a lot or you're stationary a lot, that can just make the body feel a little bit stiff. And I want you to have just a little bit of space in front of you. It doesn't need to be a lot. And you can hold on to your hips, or you can have your hand on a wall. And we're going to lead with the right foot. You're just going to step onto the right foot like you're taking a step forward. Maybe imagine you're like stepping onto stones on a path in front of you. So just leading with the right foot, bending the right knee, maybe getting a little stretch in the back leg there. And then I'm going to join my right foot to my left foot and do that on the second side. So the hand can be on the wall here for balance, step together and come back. And we're just going to alternate right and left. Right foot forward, 2 feet side by side, left foot forward, side by side. And we're just going to go back and forth like this. You can think of it kind of like a rocking motion. Maybe let your arms swing. See if you can start to find just a motion. We're not holding this position right now. Almost just like you're swinging at a swing in a playground. Maybe a little bit loose and free. Maybe swing the arms with it if that feels good. There's no rules about this. So maybe you want to challenge yourself and step a little bit farther. How does that feel? If you have the space. What if you take a little bit smaller step? Just rocking back and forth. Good. Let's do a couple more. You can change the depth of your step. I know I don't have time to take a long walk on my break during the day. So sometimes just kind of finding ways to get your energy moving while you're in a small space can be helpful. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go from side to side. So I'm going to turn to my side because I don't have a lot of room here. And I'm going to lead with my left foot, and I'm going to step to the side. And I'm just going to repeat that on the same foot. If you have a little bit more room, you can go from left to right, but we're going to do a couple on one leg. And there's no rules about this. So I want you to do what feels good. Maybe beginning to explore what feels good. Maybe you want to bend down a little bit farther. Maybe you want to bend down a little bit less and keep this really small. Maybe you want to try it with your arms in the air here. An even more interesting challenge might be to have your eyes shut as you do this. Obviously, that requires some skill. Okay, we're going to switch legs if you haven't switched already. I'm going to stand on my other side, lead with my right. And again, there's no rules to this, but work with your own body. So work with what feels good. If something's starting to feel like a little uncomfortable or intense, what would happen if you bent your knee a little less? Or slowed it down a little bit, like you're moving in slow motion. So there can be a lot of different ways with changing the speed, changing the pace, slowing yourself down, changing how big or short, shallow a step you take. All right, and we're going to come back to 2 feet on the floor. You can do a few more if you want to, if that feels good. Okay, and now I'm going to stand with some room behind me so I can practice stepping backwards. So I'm going to step with one foot and I'm going to bend that knee and kind of lean onto it. So I think of this as like the reverse rocking chair. When I'm in one of those like Cracker Barrel rocking chairs or like a chair that reclines backwards, you're kind of leaning onto that back leg. All right, and again, there's not a lot of rules with this. I am doing the same leg all in a row, but you could switch from side to side. You could have a hand on the wall. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to switch sides. If you haven't switched already, you can switch now. What does it feel like to slow it down a little bit? So you're in a little bit of slow motion. And we'll do about 2 more. And then we'll come back with the feet just right underneath the hips. We're going to reach the arms up to the sky one more time. Reaching up, I'm going to interlace my fingers and then turn the palm of my hands up towards the ceiling. And imagine you're lifting up a heavy box or you're holding up the ceiling with your hands. Maybe imagine that your hands are like an umbrella and you're covering up the rain clouds. Okay, and then we're going to step our feet. Right now, your feet are underneath of your hips. Step your feet a little bit wider. So we're just holding the arms above the head. Arms might get a little bit tired. That's okay. If the elbows need to bend here, that's fine. We're going to twist a little bit. I'm going to turn so I'm looking towards my right foot and my right side. And feel free to twist a little bit here. Do what feels good. Still keeping the arms over your head, coming back to the middle and going to the left. So I'm just twisting towards the opposite side. Coming back to the middle one more time. Arms are still up. Maybe they're a little bit bent. Maybe they're starting to get tired. Maybe they're resting on your head, but arms are still up here. All right, and then releasing down. Shake the arms out a little bit. Step the feet back in side by side. Okay, and taking your hands to your hips, we're going to do just a little bit of a balance play. I'm holding onto my hips for this, but hand can be on the wall. I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see my feet. I'm going to take my right toes and I'm going to reach across my left foot and just kind of crisscross my legs and then I'm gonna reach behind. So my right foot's gonna go in front, and then it's gonna reach behind my left leg. And similar to what we did before, I'm gonna try to keep my balance on my left leg and just make this at one continuous motion. Hand on a wall, both hands on the wall, totally fine. Sometimes my students will say like, oh, it's not challenging if my hands aren't on the wall, but it is. It is, because I can start to feel my left leg getting a little bit tired. Maybe you can start to feel your muscles being stretched or just moving around in a way that they haven't been doing. So balance can look like a lot of things. All right, we're gonna switch it up and come to the second side. I'm gonna turn sideways. So I'm gonna keep my right foot planted and bring my left foot in front of me, just touch the floor, and then I'm gonna bring it behind me. And I want you to just make this work for you. So you're just taking your left foot from the front to the back. One hand on the wall if you want to, and feel free to play with the balance here. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit wobbly and having your balance disrupted a little bit. Sometimes when I'm working on a project and I think, oh, I've got a really clear plan and everything's falling into place, something happens and it disrupts my perfect plan. But sometimes that thing gives me a new idea that can actually generate progress. So being open to being a little bit wobbly here and imperfect. Okay, we're gonna slow that down. Legs might feel a little bit tired after that. Let's find another wall space or a chair. And I want you to bring your backside, your hips, directly onto the wall. I'll come over here so you can see me a little more clearly. So imagine you're sitting onto that wall. You're going to take your feet a little bit away from the wall. And then bring your chest forward so your hands are on your knees. You might need to walk your feet a little bit farther away from the wall. I want you to really imagine that the wall is a chair. And I want you to push against the wall with your backside. Really push against the wall with the back of your hips. Push your feet into the floor so you're stable here. I'm going to hold on to my knees for balance here. And I'm just going to notice, if it feels okay, I want you to notice that you're breathing. And you don't have to change the way that you're breathing. We just want to notice that we're breathing and just keep an eye on that. It can get a little bit hard with something that's really static or still to keep that feeling that the breathing is continuing to go flow. We're going to come back up. Relax the legs out a little bit. Maybe walk around the room in a circle. Okay, we're going to repeat that same thing. If you were using a wall for that, great. You can repeat that with a wall. I'm going to demonstrate that from my chair because you can also do this sitting at any time during the day. This time I'm going to take my legs a little farther apart. So instead of having my legs hip distance, just going to open them up like you're opening up a big, heavy book. Sitting up nice and tall if you're sitting in a chair. And if your hips are on the wall or on the chair, you're going to lean forward. Okay, and I still want you to imagine that your hips are pushing against the wall or pushing against the chair. And be careful, if you're in a chair that is rolling, obviously you need to have it buttressed against something so it doesn't roll away from you. And I'm going to push into the chair with my hips or the wall and push into the floor with your feet. Breathing. Maybe this time noticing how much are you pushing? Are you pushing using all of your effort in your hips and you don't have any effort to push with your feet? Or is your effort a little more balanced? Are you pushing about the same amount with your feet and with your hips. What's the balance between the effort you're using and your breathing? Okay, come back up slowly. If you're standing, find another seat on the floor or in your chair. You can just sit with your feet comfortably on the floor or cross-legged. Place your hands on top of your thighs. And let's go back to that head turn. So we're just going to go left and right with the head. Everything else is going to stay really still. Head is going to turn from right to left. Good. Now I want you to look straight ahead. Similar, but a little different. We're going to drop the ear towards the shoulder and bring the head back to center. So similar kind of a side to side motion, but the ear is dropping towards the shoulder. Okay, this one always blows my mind. Like, oh my goodness, I really feel this particular motion a lot. So mindfulness can just be keeping your mind open to the things in your body, to the things in your environment that maybe you don't have the time to notice. Okay, bring the head back to center. Let's take that last one into a little bit of a stretch. So I'm going to drop my left ear towards my left shoulder. Then I'm going to take my left hand, bring it just to the side of my head, kind of on top. And I'm not going to pull on my head. I want this to be really gentle. And I'm just going to coax my head down ever so slightly. And I'm also trying to be mindful that my body is still sitting straight up and down. My feet are still planted. My hips are still planted. Really, when you slow down, you find, oh my gosh, there's so much to be mindful of. You can pick just one thing. Okay, I'm going to release my hand first. So lower your arm first, and then slowly lift your head back up. I'd like to have you close your eyes here and see if you can feel your neck. Compare the right side to the left side. There's not a right or a wrong way to feel there, but take that in as just helpful information for yourself. Open your eyes. Let's try the other side. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. If you want to do this stretch with your eyes closed, you can. Take your right hand, bring it over your head. And this part of this is totally optional. If you don't like the feeling of your hand on your head here, you don't have to do that part. It's kind of true for all mindfulness, is really want to just be mindful of what does feel good. Maybe here, just noticing that you're breathing, taking a moment to slow down, to pause. We're going to release the hand slowly. Slowly lift your head up and close your eyes again, or just be quiet for a moment, reflect on, or just be aware of what you feel. Try to feel the neck, the area we were just focusing on. Whenever you're ready, open up your eyes. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel a little more energized and refreshed and ready to resume everything else in your day. Or maybe you're going to bed and you're going to go to sleep. My name is Hannah. I'll see you next time.